Just look at the image above and you will see the two very similar looking UMi Zero and DG900 smartphones. Looks more than skin deep on these two Chinese smartphones, or is the premium prick ear of the UMi worth the extra? It is quite common practice for Chinese phone makers to use the same design as one another when launching a new phone. Usually this happens either by simply buying in their IR phones from the same OEM factory or by cloning one another. In the case of the UMi Zero and DG900, the phones both looks the same, but as they are made from different materials, we don't know if the two companies work together on the design or that it has all been an amazing coincidence. On the sides and rear, the DG900 and UMi Zero both look like the slender G-on-ear Life S5.5 Boo T with the front of a Nokia Lumia phone. Beyond the looks, the two phones are different in material and hardware. Let's take a closer look. We have heard quite a bit already about the alloy-bodied UMi Zero, so this time around let's start with the DG900. Starting with the body, the DG90 Zero is a plastic-bodied phone available in either all black, while or a mix of while with gold sides. Plastic might sound cheap compared to an alloy body, but even high-end phones such as the Oppo Find 7 and Vivo X Shot still use a mostly plastic shell. Not that it matters much with the DG900 though, as the only plastic you will feel is along the edges, and the front and rear of this phone are covered in 5-inch Corning Gorilla Glass 3 panels. The front sheet of Gorilla Glass is layered over a 1920x 1080 FHD display, not a Super AMOLED, but an IPS panel. The rear panel is fitted over a rear touch sensor to scroll through menus and snap photos with a tap of the rear. True one-handed operation. Cam eras on the DOOGE are right up to there too, and according to specs the front is an 8 megapixel and era 16 megapixel. I think you will probably find that the sensor are actually 5 MP and 13 MP, still more than good enough. On the inside we have 16 GB internal memory, room for a 64 GB SD card, a 1.7 GHz MediaTek MT6592 octa-core processor, 2 GB RAM, Android 4.4 KitKat and a 2500 mAh battery. If you are reading this, then the chances are you have already read up on the overall specs of the UMi Zero and will know them quite well. If you have missed the detailed specs, then we basically compare them to a more polished version of the spec found in the DOOGE-DG900. What that means is that we get the same overall design and dual Gorilla Glass 3 panels, but the bits in between have been tweaked slightly for more performance and a higher quality finish. To start with, the body on the Zero is of super body construction, which is basically what UMI are calling their all-alloy chassis. The screen will a 5-inch 1080 FHD unit is a Super AMOLED model. There is fast charging and the octa-core MediaTek Mount 6592 processor is the turbo SoC running at 2.0 GHz. The rest of the features are very similar to their DOOGE, but lacks the interpolated camera software and rear touch panel, so we have two very similar phones with similar hardware. So which to buy? Well, the DOOGE-DG900 has a rear-mounted touch panel and interpolated camera software, although the main standout feature is the price, at which is just $229.99. The UMi Zero is the same phone with a little more work gone into